Burger sauces and hot dog sauces are so popular right now, and the best I've had come from Chicago and Big Fork brands. Along with Chicago's finest sauces, Big Fork also has delicious bacon sausage, mouth-watering bacon hot dogs, keto and paleo-friendly meat sticks, and a whole lot more. And you're going to get a big 20% discount right now when you go to tjritchie.com/deals and use the code GANG at checkout. Do it now. You're going to love it.
The TJ Ritchie Show.
Hello, my people. Here we are once again. Ladies' night. I almost forgot. Tonight is ladies' night. Every Friday night is ladies' night on the TJ Ritchie Show. And this is one of the ladies' favorite songs. All right. Well, let me tell you what's going on here behind the scenes. When you are the nighttime personality, the nighttime host, or a nighttime disc jockey, one of the benefits of being on at night is that the bosses are not in the building listening to you down the hall, right? I was a nighttime disc jockey when I first started in radio. Oh, and I was slamming a high five at 9 and an all request hour, all of that stuff. But then I moved to doing morning radio, and I did that for the rest of my career, which I'm still doing. I have a syndicated morning show called the TJ and Riggins Show. But for 30-something years, I was part of the Ace and TJ Show. Now, we always had to be aware that, you know, at any time, if we messed up, the bosses were in the building, could run down and just pull us off the air and give us either a good talking to or a firing. But being on at night, you don't have to worry about that because the bosses are at home or they're out schmoozing clients or, you know, whatever else they do, living the high life. But the program director of WBT, that is the boss that's pretty much over everything that goes on the air, every part of the product that goes on the air. He is an overseer of. And I'll be damned if he didn't just poke his head in here at 7:04 and say, "Have a good show." And you know he did it just to say, "I'm here. Surprise." Ugh. But I don't care. Look, I work for fun. This is a hobby for me. He's not paying me. So it's just you and me in here, the TJ Ritchie radio family. But I know their little tricks, these radio executives and whatnot. Okay. I was a little frustrated coming into work because Savannah Banana traffic was crazy. Aren't they playing Savannah Banana baseball tonight in the Uptown? Is that what I heard? Man, I could have been a Savannah Banana. I tell you what, though, I can take my baseball skills, and once I lose these last 77 vanity pounds, I'm going to go try out, just like I'm going to try out for the Panthers. That's what. But anyway, I love seeing people get excited about something like that, you know. I just don't love seeing them on the road. I like seeing the people that were on the sidewalk walking up that way. But I don't like seeing the traffic. That is an amazing story of capitalism. That guy starting with that idea. I heard he used to live, only thing he could afford in his house was an air mattress he and his wife lived on when they were trying to get that idea off the ground. And now his company is selling out stadiums every night. That is awesome. So awesome. Now, I like the little clips that I see of Savannah Bananas on the internets. But I don't know if I would be able to sit through an entire game. Because, I mean, people be hounding me and, oh, aren't you TJ? Yeah, yeah. I'd be like, you paid to see the bananas. Look at the bananas. But I can't go really anywhere in public without being mobbed. Such a shame. All right, I want to talk about something that I saw that reminds me that I have an opinion about something that is usually not met with kindness from the younger generation. A lot like when I was talking about sports celebrations being over the top, and I don't like them. I don't like it. I don't like it. I got a lot of negative comments about that. The story is that it was a high school graduation in Florida. And they called a young man's name. He went up, he got his diploma, and when he walked across the stage, he stopped and did a backflip on the stage to celebrate that he had just gotten his high school diploma. The problem is that when he did his backflip, the young lady who was behind him alphabetically was walking like she was supposed to across the stage, and he landed on her, knocking both of them to the ground, and I would suspect that she was a little bit woozy. Okay, they weren't hurt. She went on the social medias once she saw that clip was going to go viral. And she said, please don't give him hate. He told me he was going to do it, and I didn't think about it. I forgot, and I walked up behind him. That's so sweet. So sweet. But it wouldn't be a problem if you didn't have to do something to bring attention to you and take it away from what you were there for. You're not supposed to act a fool at a graduation ceremony. It's a ceremony. It's not a party. Have some dignity. Now, I'm not saying this because I'm all worried about, paying respect to the officials at the school, the teachers and all of that. Because, I mean, if I don't know the school, then they could be those teachers that we don't care for that much, those indoctrinators, right? But the other people there, why do you think you're so special that you have to do something to set you apart from all the rest of them just because you're getting your diploma? What is that? I mean, it's not a pep rally or a party. It's a graduation ceremony. And I've talked about this on the radio and my other shows and stuff. And the young people that work on the show always just laugh and mock at the grouchy old man and all of that stuff. But when they tell you, please don't act a fool, those are the official rules, don't act a fool. But then, your kid's name gets called and everybody that's there in the family starts screaming and hooping and hollering. You don't hear the next family doesn't hear their kid's name being called. Jumping up and down and acting crazy. And, my kids graduated from Lake Norman High School, which is, kind of frou-frou for a government school. And there were families acting a fool and yelling, screaming during the ceremony when, they really shouldn't have been. Mostly people from New York. You know how loud they are. They are a very loud people, the New Yorkers. But I just think there are too many times now because of, I think it starts with social media, because you are constantly, as a young person, trying to get attention, trying to get people to look at you and for you to stand out. And you know what the kid said? And he's only 17. I'm not going to hassle him as like I would if he were a full adult. But what he said was, and this just is to give you a picture of what the mindset is that I wanted to give everybody there something memorable about me from that graduation ceremony. Why? Why do they need that? Why do they need to remember you? I mean, are you that special? Are you making that much of an impression in people's lives that they need something to remember you by? More so than what they are there to remember, which is their family member, their daughter, their son graduating. Why do they need to remember you? Look at me, look at me. That should be, that should actually be the school cheer for just about every middle school, high school, and college in U.S. America government school. And now everyone, my son graduated from Western Carolina University a couple of weeks ago. They should have just said at the end, now instead of singing the alma mater or whatever they did, they should have said, all right, everybody now with the school cheer. And they could have just said, look at me, look at me. I'm special. But then other people may think it's just not such a big deal. But that's the thing. I think things are a big deal when you don't. So thank God for me. All right. We have our nightly Pride Month update. And it's a doozy, as the kids say. Coming up next.
More of the TJ Ritchie Show is coming up.
Burger sauces and hot dog sauces are so popular right now, and the best I've had come from Chicago and Big Fork brands. Along with Chicago's finest sauces, Big Fork also has delicious bacon sausage, mouth-watering bacon hot dogs, keto and paleo-friendly meat sticks, and a whole lot more. And you're going to get a big 20% discount right now when you go to tjritchie.com/deals and use the code GANG at checkout. Do it now. You're going to love it. Hey, it's TJ, and yes, it is going strong. The TJ Ritchie Show. It's my new political podcast on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT, and you need to sign up and get all the inside scoop on everything and get the special little perks by being a member of the Ritchie Gang. Be a gangster. Just go to tjritchie.com and sign up today.
He's radio royalty in the Carolinas and Queen Charlotte's sweetest prince. It's TJ Ritchie on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Hey, you can do it. Put your back into it. Am I the only host, Lonnie, that plays this as bumper music? I'm not stealing it from anybody? Okay, I didn't think so. Click, click, boom! Hear me coming down these back streets. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I'm going to try this. I've been getting burned, but let me see. Hey, Chris. Hello.
Hey, buddy. Welcome back, bro.
Thank you. Listen, I've been having a little bit of trouble getting people on the phones to kind of follow where I'm going with things, and I got to be honest. There've been a couple of calls I've taken lately. The more they talk, the more I can just hear dials flipping all over Charlotte. Just boom, boom. Let's go to something else.
I'll tell you.
So I got a feeling that you're gonna slam this. You're gonna get it, and be entertaining and the whole thing. What you got?
Well, the good thing is, welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. My wife loved y'all show. But you're here at WBT, man. You're at the mothership, bro.
I know, man. I walk in every night and look around and think, what in the world am I doing in this radio station? This is the blowtorch, the king.
Well, going back to what you're talking about, because I saw that video about the dude flipping and knocking the stuff over.
Right.
Our generation, I think you and I are around the same age, man. I'm 58, so I'm thinking you're pretty close.
Yeah, I'm 55.
Yeah, seeing this you're like, why, man?
Mm-hmm.
I went to my niece's graduation at East Carolina University this Saturday 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they tell you, just let the people come up, get their stuff, let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
But it becomes they tell you, celebrate later.
Right.
No, man. I've never heard my niece's name mentioned.
Yeah, because
it's so loud. I
yeah.
mean, when you hit that, I was like, I just changed my thought. I was like, yep, he's absolutely correct, man.
Yeah, and between that and all of the Marxist deans and professors patting each other on the back and saying, look how great we are, a graduation ceremony is painful. Painful.
Hey, TJ.
Hey.
Musk is going to blow up the world now. You know that, right?
Oh, well, yeah, we got to get into that in just a little bit. I have a whole segment on Trump and Elon and their big breakup.
Brother, welcome to WBT, and I just wanted to say that out of my heart, man.
All right. Well, I appreciate that,
you guys,
Chris.
and you are you're a great addition.
Thank you. I think so too.
That radio station.
I think so too. I think they were headed, for the gutter before I saved them.
There you go. Have a good one, man.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Talk to you soon, bud. All right. That was fun. See, that's a good call. That's a good one. All right. So here we go. It is time for our nightly Pride Month update. All right. Little theme music there. It was supposed to really hit. Boom. I must have hit the wrong thing, or I didn't. It was supposed to come on slamming. So now you know who's laughing? Everybody that I was about to be sarcastic about in the Pride Month update. All right, you can take it then. So you know what we may do? We may just alternate when we do that. I don't feel like doing it now. No, here. These are some pretty shocking stories. In Illinois, there's a YMCA that's hosting an LGBT themed camp for second graders, alongside an activist organization that hands out so-called gender-affirming clothing like tucking underwear and chest binders to anyone regardless of age. So a YMCA-sponsored outing camp that is teaching little kids, about transing. Now, tucking underwear, if you don't know what that is, it is when it's undergarments you wear when you have when you're a man and you're pretending to be a woman. So it tucks your business, so to speak. Because if you're wanting to look like a woman, you don't need a big a bulge. So that's what that's for. Now imagine handing that to a second grade boy and telling him how to use those underwears to look like a girl. The Stevens Family YMCA will host Camp Kaleidoscope, a program designed for, quote, LGBTQ plus youth or youth who are part of LGBTQ plus families. Camp is offered quote, privately rented residential space. So for all of these kids to go and, look, what else would you call this? For these kids to go and be taught stuff that they don't need to be knowing in the second grade. Why would you do this? I mean, these are little kids. Camp provides children with daily summer adventures that promote a healthy spirit, mind, and body in a safe space where campers can meet new friends, learn team building, and experience character growth and development. The goal of our camp is to exercise joy and recreation while creating a safe environment for youth who are part of the LGBTQ plus community to be. And here's one of the buzz phrases: authentically themselves. You know, be your authentic self is right up there with saying live your truth. There is no your truth. There is the truth. But these radical Marxists, leftists, always want to change the language. They always want to confuse everyone. That's why they change their buzzwords so often. So you can be browbeaten into saying it this way one day, and then in a week they'll change and go, well, that's offensive. You can't say that anymore, because they always have to change the language to keep us confused. So they can, rip traditions apart. And then in Oregon, which you shouldn't be surprised about any crazy stuff that goes on in Oregon. There's an Oregon middle school and encourage students to dress up as drag queens and their favorite quote unquote queer hero this week in celebration of Pride Month. One parent said the families weren't notified ahead of time. This is in Eugene District 4J. Pride Spirit Week with a different theme each day, intended to celebrate LGBTQ plus community, according to a memo obtained by Fox News Digital. On Monday, students were encouraged to, quote, wear as many clothes as they could for Rainbow Out Day. Tuesday, they were told to wear all black in remembrance of lost members of the LGBTQ plus community. Wednesday, Drag Day, where students were told to, quote, dress like a drag queen, king, monarch, or dress up as a different gender, end quote. Thursday was Queer Hero Day, where students picked their favorite queer hero, such as Freddie Mercury or Chappell Roan. Chappell Roan is a current singer on the charts today. This week's events concluded with Pride Flag Friday, which, I was going to say that kind of sounded like that would be good on a dance radio station. If they did Pride Flag Friday on a dance station, always thinking radio, Students were told to, quote, dress up as the pride flag of your choice. So this is why things like this is why people have become so, let's say, cautious about the LGBTQ plus movement. I didn't say they've become cautious about gay people. I said the radical LGBTQ plus movement. There's a difference. All right. Meanwhile, we got other stuff going on. I mean, I might even get a little bit like an intellectual coming up next, even though I told you that I never would be an intellectual. Maybe I am. I guess we'll find out coming up in a few minutes.
The TJ Ritchie Show.
Hey, it's TJ, and yes, it is going strong. The TJ Ritchie Show. It's my new political podcast on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT, and you need to sign up and get all the inside scoop on everything and get the special little perks by being a member of the Ritchie Gang. Be a gangster. Just go to tjritchie.com and sign up today.
He's America's coolest conservative. Welcome to the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Thank you so much for joining us, a.k.a. listening, being part of the TJ Ritchie radio family. I think I'll just shorten that. It'll be easier and more of a better alliteration, you know, the Ritchie radio family. Come on now. Yeah. King George agrees, so that's policy now. Thank you. All right. There are a lot of people in our society now who are upset about some of the changes that are happening to well, I still say food stamps, but it's, you know, they have a card now, like a debit card that is used instead of peeling off stamps when you go to the grocery store and stuff. They've been cutting back on the fraud. You hear that all the time, waste, fraud, and abuse. So people who are able to work or who have money, that they don't really need government assistance when it comes to that. But I'm trying to remember, what was it last night that we had the young lady complaining because she has savings or something, and they were taking away her food stamps because she has money. And then we have another one of those tonight. Now listen to this lady, and just the complete misunderstanding, I guess, of what the system is set up to do and who pays for this. You see, people have been conditioned by the professional Democrats ever since that complete scumbag, piece of trash, racist, filthy Lyndon Johnson was president. They've been conditioned. Democrats have conditioned people just to think that the government, the money comes from the government. They don't know where it actually comes from. It comes from the taxpayers, and it's not given to the government. It's taken by the government at the force of a gun. Government points a gun basically at people and says, give me your money that you earned. If you don't, I'm taking you to jail. And if you try to get away, I'm going to shoot you. And some people go, well, that's a little hyperbolic, but it's basically true. Try not to pay your taxes and stand and look in the face of a government agent when they come to collect them. See what happens. You go to penitentiary. So, listen to this lady upset about her food stamps and stuff.
A letter from DHS today. They're trying to tell me that I have to sell my 2024 Range Rover that I just bought. Okay, I put $10,000 down on this car, my dream freaking car. And they're trying to tell me if I don't sell it, because this is considered a big asset, if I don't sell it and get rid of it, I will lose my $4,000 food stamps, my $2,000 cash assistance, my Section 8, my disability, and my kids' disability. So pretty much, if you are on government benefits, you can't drive nice things. You can't have nice things. They literally want me to sell my car, my Range Rover, that I have wanted all my life, if I want to keep feeding my kids. They're literally taking the food from my children's mouths because they know I can't work. I cannot work. It's been 13 years, okay?
Wow.
13 years. Over a car? Over a Range Rover? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is what they're doing to us. This is what they are stripping our rights away.
Your rights.
And this is only the beginning.
Yeah. What are your rights, by the way? It's your right to be able to drive a luxury, expensive car while hardworking people give you money to live on. I'm sorry, on which to live. You see, it's the mindset where they've been so brainwashed. Now, I found a clip today of Reverend Ike. Now, Reverend Ike was from South Carolina, and he had a huge ministry, and it was big in the 70s and all, and his message was prosperity. Now, I don't know Reverend Ike's politics. I was a little kid. To be honest with you, all I know about Reverend Ike really is when Fred Sanford would talk about him on the Sanford and Son. He'd make a mention of him now and then when I was little watching that. But then I found this clip today that goes perfectly with what we just heard. So here's Reverend Ike.
If you want to be successful in life, if you want to heal poverty, pastors, bishops, leaders, you must convert people's mentality from that of a taker to that of a giver. You cannot give the greatest values of life to those who want something for nothing. In order to receive the gift of money and to be prosperous and successful, one of the attitudes in the mind that must be broken down is the attitude of something for nothing. That's a very dangerous attitude. The easiest people in the world to cheat are people who are looking for something for nothing. And people who are looking for something for nothing will get just that.
Yep. Because you're easily manipulated. They've got you. Right? The Democrat Party says the Republicans want to take food out of the mouths of your children. They're coming for our children. And then what do? You have to go vote for them or your kids are going to starve. Look what Trump is doing. Trump won't even let this poor lady have a car. One of the biggest controversies I ever caused on the radio when I was young, and it was the Ace and TJ show, just a few years after we had moved to Charlotte. There was a story about a lady who was upset because the grocery store wouldn't let her spend her food stamps on dog food for her dog. And I said, you shouldn't be allowed to have a dog. If you can't feed yourself and other people have to feed you because the government has to take money away from them when they earn it and give it to you because you can't feed yourself, why do you have another mouth that you're taking on to feed? A dog is a luxury. A dog is not a right. It's a luxury. Boy, that set them on fire. Woo! But isn't it true? If you can't feed yourself without the government having to be play Robin Hood. Actually, the story of Robin Hood was Robin Hood robbed from the rich to give to the poor. The rich in Robin Hood was the tax man. Look at me, acting like I know something. Well, we're going to take it one step further. And I bet you have no idea what that step is. So it'll be good for you to stick around and find out, especially here on Ladies Night. Ladies, get on the phones. Call me, 704-570-1110. We may not make it on the air, but we might chat. I don't know. I'll get a signed pitch out to you, something like that. I got to go to Walmart, get them developed first, but I'll do something. All right, so we got more coming up next.
It's TJ Ritchie.
Burger sauces and hot dog sauces are so popular right now, and the best I've had come from Chicago and Big Fork brands. Along with Chicago's finest sauces, Big Fork also has delicious bacon sausage, mouth-watering bacon hot dogs, keto and paleo-friendly meat sticks, and a whole lot more. And you're going to get a big 20% discount right now when you go to tjritchie.com/deals and use the code GANG at checkout. Do it now. You're going to love it. I am the #1 influencer for that fancy company called Cozy Earth. They sell all kinds of stuff, everything from clothing to bedding, and I will admit it is all luxurious. But don't be thinking that you can't afford it, because when you use the promo code GANG, you'll get 41% off everything. So go to tjritchie.com/deals and use the code GANG for that huge 41% discount. See, it pays to know me.
Radio, podcasts, and cool social media content. Get all the TJ you can handle at WBT.com/TJ. Now, back to the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Oh, man, we are on fire. That's fire, man. That's fire. How long y'all think a Savannah Bananas game lasts? Think they're going to be letting out right about the time I go? Man, I should have brought the helicopter to work today. All right. Well, we still got stuff to do here. I can't be worried about traffic before it's time for me to even go home. I got the peoples to entertain. I entertain the peoples. That's what I do. It's ladies' night. What's up, ladies? What's up? All right, so one more thing about this entire Democrat Party manipulation of people and making them think that, you know, that they're owed something by the government. I'm going to play something for you here that is I think this was recorded in the 60s. Now, Malcolm X didn't like any white people. So I'm not playing this clip to say, listen to Malcolm X. He knew we were better than them. Meaning white conservatives versus white liberals. He didn't like any of the white people on either side. But this is what he said about white liberals. You get hung up there to the computer glitch.
In this crooked game of power politics here in America, the Negro, namely,
oh, wait, hold on a second.
The race problem.
I forgot. I was supposed to tell you that it has that reference to, it's what he referred to black people as in the 60s. So the clip is as it was then. So, okay.
Immigration, civil rights issue are all nothing but tools used by the whites who call themselves liberals against another group of whites who call themselves conservatives, either to get into power or to retain power. Among whites here in America, the political teams are no longer divided into Democrats and Republicans. The whites who are now struggling for control of the American political throne are divided into liberal and conservative camps. The white liberals from both parties cross party lines to work together toward the same goal. And white conservatives from both parties do likewise. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives.
Okay. So what he's saying is that they're all bad, the white liberals and conservatives, but the liberals are more dangerous because they come in pretending to be your champion. You know, if you're a black person, and that started with Lyndon Johnson, and it's so sad to see, because not only does it tear apart relations that, good relationships that people could have if if there wasn't a party that was poisoning the minds of one of the groups. But it robs people of the desire to reach individual greatness, because you have to be in this group, the Democrats say. If you want to see someone treated viciously by the professional Democrats in this country, watch how they treat black conservatives. They are ruthless. More ruthless to black conservatives than they are white conservatives or conservatives just that have been conservatives forever. And that's because of all of these decades of Democrats manipulating them, poisoning their minds, and like I said, robbing so many people of their desire to reach individual greatness, because conservatives are for individuals, and we want everybody to do their very best. We want everybody to thrive, no matter what color they are, no matter what religion they are. If you're a good American and you're doing the things that America was built on, the exercising the great freedoms that our founders and framers gave us, and you're thriving, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter where you go to church. Conservatives want you to be your best, because when individuals thrive, the country thrives. But there's never a case when you have to belong to a certain group that a political party tells you to belong to and get in line and step the way they tell you to step. That's never good for a society. And they know that. That's why they do it. Because a Democrat is not in favor of the American traditions, because they know that their entire platforms as the quote unquote Democrat Party can be shattered with common sense when people are shown the truth. And like Malcolm X said in the clip, it's not just the white liberals in charge who do that. It's also the so-called civil rights leaders who carry the white liberals' water for them, carry out their plans, just because they get what they would consider a seat at the table. And to me, that's the worst, is when you have a group of people and you claim to champion them, all the while you're helping somebody else keep them down. This is a huge issue with me. The other night we were talking about the number one issue that's bad in the country, the worst thing about, it's keeping our country, causing harm in our country. And I said the media. I still stick with that, because in general, a lot of that comes back to the way the media handles how they get the information out. But this is a close second, I think. I can't stand the way professional Democrats, the Democrats in power, and those who work for them, I can't stand the way that they've just kept their fingers to keep what they call marginalized people under their thumb. You think about it. If you sat down next to a stranger let's say at a bar or on a park bench, and started a conversation, 9 times out of 10, y'all could be from completely different walks of life. You'll have a nice conversation. You'll walk away thinking, oh, that's a nice person. But if you show up and you're meeting each other as this group against that group, you're not going to find that. You're going to automatically be in some sort of strife. And then behind that, you're going to see a professional Democrat stoking the flame. Or is it fanning the flames? Stoking the fire, fanning the flames. Either one, they'll be causing trouble. And I don't like it. Okay. Had people already asking, what's my take on the Trump-Elon tiff today? Well, I guess we'll get into that coming up next.
Hey, it's TJ, and the TJ Ritchie Show will be a multi-touch marketing option for all the cool businesses in town. I have no idea what that means. That was written by our business department, obviously, for me to read. If you're a cool business, I guess you know what it means. So go to tjritchie.com and find out more.
News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT proudly presents America's coolest conservative. Well, proudly could be stretching it a bit. Welcome to the TJ Ritchie Show.
Oh, yes. So glad to have you. Everybody looks so lovely tonight. You look very lovely. I can see you. Yes. All right. I had people texting me today, asking me what my thoughts are on the Trump Elon spat. And you know what I said? I said, go back and listen to my podcast from last night's show. Talked all about that. Dang. I'm working on a fish sandwich. I love a fish sandwich. All right, that's a fun fact about me for tonight that you need to know. Last night was that I don't like bagpipes. Night before was that I'm an occasional hemorrhoid sufferer. So tonight is, what did I just say? That I don't like? Oh, I love fish sandwich. I'm always working on a fish sandwich. Got that. All right, so a lot has happened since last night's show, and everybody that I know, not everybody, but a lot of people that I know that have reached out to me today think that it's fake. I'm like, what? I don't know about that. It could be. You know, they're both showmen. Not shaman, showmen. But I really don't care. You know, I don't like that kind of drama. I don't believe there's anything incriminating against President Trump in the Epstein files, like Elon said. You know, I'm along the school of thought of that the Democrats would have brought that out already, you know, before the election. I don't know. I think it's more that, one, Elon Musk probably looks at it, if it is real, Elon Musk looks at it like, I went and did all this work to save the government money and cut out all this wasteful spending and everything with the Doge. And then the big, beautiful bill just adds spending. So why did I waste my time doing all that? But I can't think of his name, but Elon Musk's friend was supposed to be the head of NASA, and Trump withdrew his nomination. And I think that's what really upset Elon. And they say this because Trump found out that the guy was a Democrat donor. Well, I mean, Trump used to be a Democrat donor. But I guess that would be different, though, if the guy was donating to Kamala Harris. That's a little bit closer to home, maybe. I wouldn't want to give him a job either. But who knows when that all happened? I don't know. But I'm not your guy, though, when it comes to digging deeply into this sort of thing and the gossip of this and what if it were that and, so forth and so on, treating it like a celebrity story. Like it's Taylor Swift having a falling out with her best friend. And I'm not interested in that. I just want, I don't want a tax increase. But then again, it wouldn't increase my taxes because you have to get paid to pay taxes. I don't get paid, so. You know what I live on? Love. That's what, love. But I don't want a tax increase for everybody else. But I do know that we've got to get spending under control. And this is, like I said, it's the fault of the Democrats and the Republicans that the spending is what it is. What do they say? It's unsustainable. Unsustainable. But I do know that in other Trump stuff that the Democrats and the media are still crying about Trump's travel ban from other countries. And they're showing, as many sob stories as they can get on the news of people saying, well, my brother had planned to come here and now he's not going to be able to, and he's going to be stuck in our home country and so forth and so on. Okay. I mean, if he's a good person and your family is, that you like America, you're not going to come over here and try to, start causing trouble. That's, it sucks. But I mean, we got to do what we got to do to protect our peoples. So, Trump's ban, would be, people visiting or coming into the country from Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Yeah, man. Because those are hotbeds of America haters. And what in the world could be wrong with that? Let's say, take away. This is what the media should be asking these Democrats who are talking about how horrible that is and how Trump's a dictator and whatever. Okay, well, what should we do when we have all of these people coming from these countries who come into the United States and cause trouble, even to the point of firebombing innocent people with homemade Molotov cocktails and a homemade flamethrower, terrorizing students on college campuses, all of the stuff that they do. Give me a really good reason why we need them in the country, please. Because that's where people have lost sight of what immigration is for in U.S. America. Immigration is for us to allow people into the country who are not going to cause trouble, who want to be here, and who are going to make America better by being here. For example, there are a lot of great doctors in India. It would benefit Americans to have some more great doctors living here. So, the immigration department should look at any Indian doctor that wants to come to America and, do the vetting of making sure that they're not, against America, they're not criminals or any of that. And that's a perfect candidate for somebody to be a guest in the country or even working toward becoming a citizen of the country. what are all of these Hamas supporting protesters doing to benefit America who are here with expired visas or just flat out being illegal aliens? What can you find and point to that says that they are benefiting U.S. America? It's just that simple, but they never get asked that. It's just a done deal now. Anybody who wants to come here who's in a country that's not as good as America, and let's face it, that's every other country. No country is as good as America. It's our duty, our responsibility to let them in because they're poor or whatever. No, we don't play that game anymore. That's why we got to keep Democrats away from the controls. We can't ever trust Democrats to be in control of this country again. It's just that simple. Can't do it. Okay. Meanwhile, there's a lot of other stuff going on in the celebrity world that needs to be mocked, and all over the other areas of the culture. We'll get on that next.
The TJ Ritchie Show.
Burger sauces and hot dog sauces are so popular right now, and the best I've had come from Chicago and Big Fork brands. Along with Chicago's finest sauces, Big Fork also has delicious bacon sausage, mouth-watering bacon hot dogs, keto and paleo-friendly meat sticks, and a whole lot more. And you're going to get a big 20% discount right now when you go to tjritchie.com/deals and use the code GANG at checkout. Do it now. You're going to love it.
Identifying liberalism and mocking it relentlessly. This is the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Whoa. Friday night. Feeling right. It's also ladies' night. Ladies' night on the TJ Ritchie Show. This is Rich's America. That's what it is. All right. So with a tribute to Ladies' Night here, Angie, how's it going?
Good. How's it going, TJ Ritchie?
Great. Welcome to Ladies' Night.
Heck yeah. I just wanted to call in. Since I wasn't the first lady to call last Friday night, I am going to be the first lady to call twice in a row on a Friday night.
All right. Well, then we'll just call you the first lady of the TJ Ritchie Show. How about that?
You got it. Heck yeah. I like it.
Well,
I had to call in to say hey.
Well, thank you very much. Hey to you, Angie. Have a good night.
Hey.
All right.
You too, TJ.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so since it is Ladies' Night, let's go ahead and crank this up a little bit. Let's get a little energy going. The rest of the hosts won't do this for you. As the lights come on, with the darkness approaching, we need to move a little bit. We need to kind of get in the groove. If you're at home, stand up, side to side. If you're in your car, be careful. But still, get in the groove. We reach down and crank this up.
I've been living for the weekend, but no, not anymore. Cause here comes that familiar feeling that Friday is famous for. Yep. Yeah, I'm looking for some action, and it's out there somewhere. You can feel the electricity all in the evening air. And it may just be more of the same. But sometimes I wanna go where everyone knows your name. You know what? So I guess I'll have to wait and see. But I'm just gonna let something brand new happen to me.
That's all right.
And it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Bright lights never been sailing.
Come on now.
Belongs to us tonight. Now Friday's
Oh, now, Wasn't that fun, lady and gentlemen? Got your blood pumping? You about to doze off because you had a hard week of work? But no, these bright lights are on in this big city. We got at least another half hour to go of this ripping entertainment that you've got on the radio now. 1110 on your AM dial and 99.3 on the frequency modulation. How about that? That's what FM stands for, you peoples. Frequency modulation, I think. 99.3 megahertz. See, I know me some bleep up in here. Yeah. You're not gonna get any of those other hosts, as great as they are. They're not going to have a little mini dance party during their shows. Am I right, Lonnie? You know they're not going to do it. Those nerds won't do it. Those intellectuals. Those smarty smarts. Like Vincent Coakley, Pete Callender. Have them groove a little bit. No, they won't do it. You know why? Because they don't work for free. You work for free, you can play little different rules. Okay. They probably won't be covering this story either, because they cover all important things. I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of the things that I talk about aren't really that important. They're important to me. If it's important to me, it should be important to you, because you're my people. Halle Berry. Everybody knows who Halle Berry is, right? Beautiful actress, Halle Berry. Oh, my gosh. Probably, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful people ever to be in show business. However, I think she is bat crazy. Again, my opinion, Halle Berry is kind of cuckoo. And I was trying to tell the young people this the other day, that when a guy reaches a certain age, I don't know what that age is, but when he reaches a certain age, a woman's hotness does not trump crazy. If she's robbing him of his peace, as the Bible says, it doesn't matter how hot she is or how beautiful she is. It's not worth it. I'm not saying Halle Berry has reached that point, but she is kind of crazy, in my humble opinion. But then again, most Hollywood people are. You know, they're not all there in my estimation. But anyway, she has been proposed to by her boyfriend named Van Hunt. He proposed to her, and it's been a while, and she hasn't given him an answer yet. She says it'll probably happen. She's just not in a rush because she's been married 3 times. All right. That makes sense. But if you're Van Hunt, are you still hanging around waiting on her to answer you? You propose, you're supposed to get an answer. You're not supposed to say, let me think about it for a month. But I'm going to tell y'all this, because I bet you don't know. The other day, she went viral because she's got some types of personal products, you know what I'm saying? Aids, if you will, those types of products. And she and this guy did a selfie video in the bed, naked, covering with the sheets and all that, and talking about what they were about to do, and held up the product they were going to use that was going to make it better. Isn't that trashy? I mean, we're talking about Halle Berry. Everybody looks at her as being above that, right? Now, I wouldn't get in the car with her, that's for sure, if she's behind the wheel. From what I understand, she's a terrible driver. But, come on. Nobody wants to see that. Again, it's just people have just lost their manners. That's not very couth, Hallie, Miss Barry. But, Lonnie, if you proposed to a woman and she wouldn't give you an answer yet for a long time, would you stick around and wait for her to give an answer, or would you say, I'm moving on?
She's got about 30 seconds with me.
Yeah.
If I bought the ring, it's enough said.
Yeah. What about you, George?
Yeah. If I don't get an answer within, certainly less than a minute, I'm out.
Yeah, the only delay would be her trying to catch her breath because she's so excited.
Right.
I prepared a romantic dinner for my wife when I proposed to her. You know what it was? Deer meat. I swear it was. We had some deer steaks, and they were fresh. I cooked them up. She was like, I can't say no to this dude. I'm not lying.
I thought you were going to say it was summer sausage.
No, this is deer, like fried, like chicken fried steak, or, like that. But little deer tenderloin steaks. She said, Mama, I told you about that guy that has the long permed mullet, and he wears silver tab Levi's jeans and high top Nikes and works on the radio. I'm going to marry him because I found out he cooks delicious deer steaks. And if you knew how prim and proper my wife was and her family, but that showed me, hey, she's not going to turn her nose up at something. She's not all snooty. She may be well-mannered and sophisticated and all, but she'll try it and loved it. So if you got an opinion about that, if the woman doesn't accept the proposal right away, is that the end of the relationship? How long do you wait? And I have another celebrity story about that I just thought of. All right, so we're winging it. It's Friday night, ladies' night, bright lights in the big city, Savannah, eating bananas. I mean, we got it all going on around us. This is the place to be right here tonight with the TJ Ritchie Show. So don't move. This is going to make your whole weekend. The rest of the show will be the highlight of your weekend. It's coming up next.
It's TJ Ritchie.
Hey, it's TJ, and you may have heard I have a little talk show now. It's from 7 to 9 every weeknight on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT. And you can also watch it on YouTube. That's right, my beautiful face on YouTube. Go get signed up for the TJ Ritchie Show on YouTube. You can do that at tjritchie.com.
Late, live, and local. It's the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Oh, yeah. It's ladies' night. Love it, love it. So we were talking about Halle Berry and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend has proposed to her, and she hasn't given him an answer yet. But he seems to be okay with that, to wait around. Betty White, her husband was her boyfriend for a long, like years and years. And every so often he would propose and say, let's get married. And she would say no. But they stayed together for years and years. And then finally they got married, I think. I'm pretty sure. And that was fine with him, But those are Hollywood people. All right, I'm being falsely accused of something here that I need to clear up. George. Hey.
Well.
Wait, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Charlotte.
Okay,
By the
cool.
way, I know it's a little late, but welcome to Charlotte, and it's an honor to speak with you.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you here.
This is just I'm new to WBT, but I've been on the radio in Charlotte for years and years.
I heard about that. Yeah. So I'm aware.
But thank you very much. So you're saying that we're not giving the women a fair shake in this?
Well, I never thought about it before until you just brought it up, and then I was thinking, well, how come the women got to wait around and then make a snap decision, but when the women tell the men, hey, I think maybe it's time we got married, and then men go, oh, let's think about it some more. Let's give it a few weeks, months, years, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the women just put up with it, but then the men, they get on the radio, and I'm not naming names, and then they say, well, no, if I don't hear it right away,
Right. Well, it's not a double standard as far as I'm concerned, because I would say that the woman needs to move on to somebody else as well. Like if you want to get married and you keep mentioning it, because I actually think that there are so many women who are trapped in that, or feel trapped in that situation, because they look at it like, I've got so much time invested in him, and I don't want to just walk away, because I think we will get married. I know we're going to get married someday. Because what happens is, and this is why I always tell people, young people, that they shouldn't move in together unless they have a commitment already. Because you give a man all the benefits of a marriage without the commitment, he's going to take that and hold on to it as long as he can. Because, and I'm not talking about just the sexual aspect of it and, the cow and the free milk and all that, but also men like companionship. They like having a woman home when they're home, and they spend time together, and the security of that relationship. But if they don't have the commitment that goes with it, it can drag on for years and years and years. So I do think that women, should not be waiting around on a man until they feel like, they're at the point where they're trapped.
No, I totally agree with that.
Right.
Yeah, no,
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, George. I appreciate you, buddy.
You too.
Have a good night. All right. Thanks. See? Look at me. Y'all didn't know I knew about that stuff, did you? Relationships and whatnot. I was talking earlier about what I cooked for my wife the night I proposed to her, being deer steaks, basically chicken fried deer steaks with gravy. And that wasn't a lie. The only thing that I didn't tell the truth about is that she was proposing to me, begging me to marry her, drag her out of a situation that she was in, with her mama being a prostitute and her dad was an alcoholic. No, I'm kidding. I brought her in, fixed her teeth up, saw she had potential. And here she is. Still with it. Okay, so let's see. Hey, who is this? Hello?
Hello, this is Snow White. Are you talking with me?
Yes, I am, because I was trying to clear it up, because I won't say who it was, but Lonnie typed your name up here as Snowflake, and I said, well, is that Miss Snow White? I've been calling her by the wrong name, so I just wanted to clear that up. So it is Snow White.
You were not calling me by the wrong name, but a lot of my relatives are snowflakes, so it's part of the territory. But I just want to let you know I'm loving your program, and I'm so glad that you're on there and you're talking common sense, and I just agree with so many of the things and
well, thank you.
That you're going through there, and I just got to say, your wife made a good decision. Not only can you cook, but you can go out and kill it and bring it home.
Yes, I can. Now, it's kind of hard to do here in the big city.
Right.
But we do have a lot of deer out where I live, kind of in the country. But it's still considered a neighborhood, so I can't shoot next to the road. I've thought about getting a bow and arrow, though, but a veterinarian lives right beside me, and she'd probably go tell on me if I shot a deer in her front yard.
We live in the country also, and when we first moved here, they would be a herd of deer outside at night, herds.
Yeah.
And I missed hitting 3 the other day, a 1/10 of a mile away from here.
Oh, wow. Well, good thing you did miss them.
Yes.
They'd have torn up your business.
We've had coyotes out here. We even had a mountain lion. I don't know how it got here.
Yeah.
That was one huge.
Oh, you got a cougar.
Yes. We've had skunks and raccoons in the trees.
So that's is that 2 cougars at your house at the same time? You and the mountain lion?
Might be.
All right. Well, thank you, ma'am. I'm so glad you called, and I love talking to you, and I really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a great weekend.
And I hope you do
All
also.
right.
And enjoy your program.
Thank you. Look at that. She's so sweet. Hello, Snowflake. Dr. Freud. Calling Dr. Freud. This is a black man calling a white woman a snowflake. Nice, Lonnie. Yeah. Nice. That's good. She's so sweet. All right. So the last segment of the week is going to be a doozy. I mean, it is going to be a banger, as the kids say. Coming up next.
The TJ Ritchie Show.
Burger sauces and hot dog sauces are so popular right now, and the best I've had come from Chicago and Big Fork brands. Along with Chicago's finest sauces, Big Fork also has delicious bacon sausage, mouth-watering bacon hot dogs, keto and paleo-friendly meat sticks, and a whole lot more. And you're going to get a big 20% discount right now when you go to tjritchie.com/deals and use the code GANG at checkout. Do it now. You're going to love it.
Bringing the heat.
Oh, hot, hot, hot.
Whatever that means. This is the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
Oh, look at this. I think this just happened a little while ago. A couple hours ago, maybe. In Los Angeles, an ICE SUV, one of the sport utility vehicles that the ICE agents use, was leaving the scene of a raid in Los Angeles, and some crazy protester, some lunatic, tried to stop the SUVs jumping in front of it and blocking traffic. You know how those radical, insane liberals do. And they found out, as they say in the story here, that this is not the Biden administration anymore, because the ICE agents did not allow them to stop the SUVs. Let me put it that way. All right. I hate to take such a joyous mood and have to throw out warnings here of things that might scare you to death. I know it scares me. But Amazon is about to bring some wacko robots into our lives, and I don't like it. Not one bit. Now, I don't like robots at all. Because they're going to take over the world. It's going to be evil. For a long time, I've said that it's not a robot if it doesn't have a head. You see these little things running around and, they call them robots. They're just flat on the ground or whatever. Those aren't robots. A robot has to have a head. Well, they've determined that a robot with a head or one that walks upright and looks like a person is called a humanoid robot. Those are the ones that are going to get us. The humanoid robots. Amazon says that they are getting close to having packages delivered by humanoid robots. So you look out your window, and you see a crazy looking robot running up your front steps with a package, looking like RoboCop or something. They said that the humanoids will be driven around in those Rivian electric vans and would jump out to walk over and drop the packages off on your doorstep. Supposedly the AI software will, quote unquote, be ready soon be ready, and real word testing going on. If you're curious, the testing will happen at an indoor humanoid park, which Amazon has constructed at one of their offices in San Francisco. Of course. Where else would they do something crazy like this? They're also working on AI-powered robots to work at distribution centers, which, they say that feels a little more practical than humanoids that are walking around delivering packages to homes. They said that they're already using a variety of autonomous robots in their warehouse operations. So you got robots working in the warehouse. What happened to all of those things about Amazon being such a great place to work and benefits and all of that? I wouldn't want to work next to a robot. Then again, I'd rather be working next to one instead of one working in my place. If I looked out and I saw a robot walking down the street carrying packages, I would think that the world was coming to an end. I might just go ahead and surrender to it. Go ahead and take me now. Because I'll tell you, the first time I ever saw something like this, my wife and I had gone with another couple to Vegas for some fun and frivolity. And in the hotel, they had this robot that was rolling around. It looked like a big St. Bernard, and it was rolling around. It had an iPad on it or whatever. But if you asked for towels in your room, this robot dog would go to the elevator. They would put into it what room to go to, whatever. It would take the towels up to the room. And everybody was standing around watching it, and they were, oh, that is so cute. Look, that, oh my gosh, that's amazing, whatever. And I'm sitting there thinking, what is going to happen when they make a robot dog to attack you? I don't want any part of any robots. Humanoid or otherwise, but mainly the humanoid ones. Those are the scarier ones, the ones with a head. But why can't they make them, if they're going to make them move and all like humans, why don't they make them look more like humans? See, they need me working at Amazon, designing things. I'd draw it up real nice. They're in great shape, though, these robots. You won't see a fat robot. Yeah. They ought to make them, if they're going to have them out there, make them look like, make them look like that robot animation thing that they do on the Fox NFL Sunday thing. The Fox NFL broadcast, they do that. It looks kind of like a transformer.
If they have a robot coming up your driveway to deliver a package, how long you think it's going to be before somebody who's had maybe a little too much to drink shoots that sucker?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. But here's what I want to help Amazon out here, because you need to make sure you program these robots who are doing the deliveries with a lot of electronic stamina, because my wife is getting so many things delivered every day. I think it would wear out a robot. My wife would wear out a robot. You hear me? Robots would be complaining about back injuries. They say, where are all these robots getting hurt? I say, at Richie's house. That wife of his, she's terrible. And I would hate to see one of these expensive robots have to, go into the robot hospital or something for some robot surgery just because can't handle the packages that my wife orders. That'll be the test, though. That'll be the test for them. See how much stamina they got. Now, when these people work on robots that break down, do you think they look like mechanics? Are they dressed like mechanics, like if your car went in the shop, or are they little nerds running around working on them? Nerd engineers and stuff. Not that all engineers are nerds, but if you're working on a robot, you're probably a nerd. Not in a bad way, but, well, unless you're working on a robot to kill all the people that picked on you in high school. This is what we call revenge robot. Out of all the other people that work on the radio here at WBT, who you think would be most into robots? George, you've been here a long time. Who you think would be most into robots?
For one.
Well, I mean, like of the hosts, Brett Jensen, or no, I'm sorry, Mr. Winterble. He got all excited about that space thing today, about that extra planet with all the, fire and everything.
He doesn't really like space stuff. Probably.
Well, he sure sounded like it. Because I was going, what is this nerd talking about?
I would think that the guys on the morning show would be more likely.
Really?
Robots, yeah.
But I tell you what, though, that Beth Troutman would talk a robot to death, I bet. What, we can't joke about Beth because she's the only woman other than the news people?
No, I didn't say that. You're right. But I think they would be most likely to.
Okay. What about you, Lonnie? Who you think would be most into the robots of the other hosts?
Winterble doesn't believe in robots. I would say
he doesn't believe they exist.
He doesn't like space.
Okay, well, good. I don't either. But I was listening to him today.
I would definitely say Bo Thompson. He's more a Back to the Future type of guy. Maybe.
Oh yeah, he seems like it. You know why? Because he seems like he's more quiet about things. He seems like he'd be kind of sneaky. So he'd probably be building a robot to do some dirty work for him. He seems like that type.
Maybe.
He might program a robot to come in here one day and bust out all the windows or something. No, I'm kidding. They're all very nice, but Brett Winterble did sound like today that he was all into space, about that planet that was on fire and all that stuff. So good. I'm glad to hear he's not a nerd. That's great. All right. That's the show for tonight and this week. Remember, God loves you, and you can't do anything. Ain't nothing you can do. How's it go? God loves you. God loves you. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Burger sauces and hot dog sauces are so popular right now, and the best I've had come from Chicago and Big Fork brands. Along with Chicago's finest sauces, Big Fork also has delicious bacon sausage, mouth-watering bacon hot dogs, keto and paleo-friendly meat sticks, and a whole lot more. And you're going to get a big 20% discount right now when you go to tjritchie.com/deals and use the code GANG at checkout. Do it now. You're going to love it. Hey, it's TJ, and the TJ Ritchie Show will be a multi-touch marketing option for all the cool businesses in town. I have no idea what that means. That was written by our business department, obviously, for me to read. If you're a cool business, I guess you know what it means. So go to tjritchie.com and find out more.